I played so many video games that they had a negative impact on my life. I didn't get enough sleep, I neglected my family and friends, and I failed to meet my own responsibilities. So I decided to take a 100-day break and then reassess my relationship with video games. The first 10 days are over now, and it's time for the second update. You can find the first update after the first 3 days here. 10 days without video games, and the first thing I want to tell you, I feel surprisingly good. The cravings, the urge to play a game, they are barely there now compared to the first few days. That might be because I've been very busy lately. But how do I actually fill my free time, which I normally spend gaming? In the past few days, I visited my parents, I attended a large family gathering, played board game with friends, and went to a sauna night with a good friend. So I spent a lot of the time with my social relationships and special moments. However, I had still vacation this week. Next week, things might look very different. And how did I spend the time when I was alone? I focused primarily on my YouTube channels, where I finally started to posting videos and content again. But I also found more motivation to move. I did strength training, I went cycling, and I practiced breathing exercises. But relaxation, like reading in the sun or taking care of my plants, also shouldn't be left out of the list. You can see that I tried to use my time mostly productive and limited my screen time apart from YouTube. So that's how I've been filling my free time. But what has changed in the other 7 game-free days? I've noticed that I'm finding more joy in everyday things again. Before I often neglected social gatherings because I preferred to game. It was the same with other activities. Reading, workout, maybe tomorrow. Keep playing video games, even though I've been already staring 4 hours in the screen? Yes! The fact that after such a short break, other things are starting to be fun again, and that I'm seeking more social contacts, it's a very positive and motivating change. Additionally, I've noticed that I'm looking things up and wanting to learn more, a lot more. Since I'm not constantly distracted by a game, all kind of different thoughts come to my mind. This is what my ChatGTP search bar looks like. The time I previously spent researching game content, I now use for everyday things and activities that I'm currently pursuing. Another thing that has helped me a lot in the last few days is the app I Am Sober. It helps me track my game free time, gives me daily motivation, and most importantly, I can get input from a huge community across many different areas. I find it exciting to read stories of people with similar experiences. Stories where addictive behavior had a much more extreme impact, but also success stories that motivate me to keep going. Being part of a community, it feels very rewarding. It feels like I'm not fighting these problems all alone. And that thought gives me a lot of strength. But be careful. There were also days when I spent too much time reading here. Similar to scrolling on TikTok or researching on Reddit, you can get lost here as well. The next point has to do with you. I could have done this project in silence. Instead, I decided to make it public and share it with you. Private friends of mine also saw the video. This has put me under some kind of pressure. I feel responsible for completing these 100 days and also for sharing updates on my progress. For me personally, this pressure helps me to stay strong. Either I go through with it or I have to share that I had a setback, which won't feel really good, especially when I talk to my friends about it. But at the same time, they can also support me in case I experience difficult phases. So I recommend that you also open up to others about your plans. If you are really serious about tackling your own problematic habit, then talk to your friends or your family about your problem. It already helps to talk about it, to organize and reflect your thoughts. The pressure of involving other people helps you avoid failure. In case of problems, these closest people, they can support you. All of this, it will increase your chances of success.